okutaasa Dr. Kizza Besigye mu mbeera gy'alimu, ekisooka tumusaasira ne tusaasira n'abantu be embeera gye balimu n'engeri gy'ayisibwamu. Naye bw'oba ogenze mu mateeka, ekisobola okumutaasa mu kiseera kino ky'eky'abapuliida ba Dr. Kizza Besigye okwapulayingira bail, okumweyimirira mu criminal division eya High Court kyekyokka. Era abantu bonna balina okitegeera nti kkiriza oba gaana, omuntu engeri gy'afuluma ekkomera nga kiragiro kya kkooti, nga order kkooti egiragidde. Kakati Supreme Court yayogera naye neetabeera nnambulukufu. Okuggyayo ekyo oyina engeri bbiri. Either okutambula n'oddayo eri Supreme Court etaputa ekyo kiyinza okutwalira emyaka 2 oba 3 ng'ekyakitaputa ekyayo kyennyini, oba okugenda mu High Court n'osaba okweyimirirwa kwa Dr. Besigye ng'osinziira ku nsonga zino wammanga. Ekisooka nti musajja mukulu ow'emyaka atuludde, ekyokubiri nti ali mu mbeera etasanyuse yeetaaga obujjanjabi, ekyokusatu nti ayina waasula ew'enkalakkalira nti tajja kudduka. Ebyo byokka bye bisobola okuleeta Dr. Besigye okulaba ng'afuna freedom ye. Tumusaasira, tusaasira n'abantu be, naye nze singa mbadde muwabuzi yeeyo procedure yaffe ne bwe tunaakyogerako wano mu Parliament ne twekuba empi ne tweyuza, ekisobola okuyimbula Dr. Besigye kyokka ye kkooti. There are two procedures that can help secure Dr. Besigye his freedom. One, either to apply to High Court to get a bail application fixed. I'm sorry, there's a lot of noise here. Hello, I'm speaking. The president is speaking. Honorable ministers, Bakoneko. Honorable Bariomus, the president is speaking. No, the big P. So let us go and it's very unfortunate that Dr. Besigye, just like all other people that are incarcerated, find themselves in such a situation that is unprecedented. Now, the Supreme Court pronounced itself on the matter of transfer of the case to the civilian courts. What awaits is either the DPP presenting this case officially, so that if this case is sanctioned, it's taken for mention and then forwarded to High Court. During this time, Dr. Kizza Besigye can then apply to High Court for grant of bail or to seek bail. In any case, the High Court, and in particular the Criminal Division, has unlimited jurisdiction over these matters. Dr. Besigye also has the chance through his lawyers to go ahead, even as it is now, even if there is no sanction of the matter by the DPP, and apply for bail at the Criminal Division, because the High Court has unlimited jurisdiction to hear any matter. Now, in this case, in the Criminal Division, and have this matter heard and grant him bail. For me, that is the only possible way that I see. Otherwise, going back to the Supreme Court and seeking their advice for them to interpret their own orders is laborious and will take a tremendous time. I don't see the prison authorities just on mere statements coming out to release Dr. Besigye. So I'm here to speak the reality, not from perception. How does a prisoner behind bars get their freedom? So ordinarily is walk and seek bail. Get your lawyers to get a date fixed for bail, and then the rest you can argue the illegality, put up a constitutional petition to stay the proceedings of these matters, go up with a constitutional petition to stay any proceedings based on the following, on the interpretation as to whether someone can be kidnapped from here to there, but while you're out on bail. For me, this is my argument. Ya government teiza kujja kutaputa ruling ya Supreme Court nedda. Era tetujja kuwagira kintu kyonna kityoboola ntaputa ya ssemateeka kubanga kiba kimenya ssemateeka ono. So kyekyo kooti ensukkulumu yayogera ate bwe yalamula ekyo kye kyasembayo nti toyinza kuddira ate nga kyekyamazima mutunzi wa kyalaani newankubadde aba alina obumanyirivu mu kusala n'okusona omuwe agenda afuuka omuzaalisa mu ddwaliro. Kituufu bonna basala ne batunga, naye kati wano tunoonya muzaalisa, tetunoonya mutunzi wa kyalaani. Omu atunga mpale, omulala asala n'atunga abantu. Kooti ey'amagye eringa tribunal erina okwasisa empisa bannamagye abo. Actually n'okubasalira omusango ogw'okufa kintu kinene nnyo, kyandibadde kijja waggulu. Eyinza okugamba wakoze kino naye tukuwadde ekibonerezo kino, so that omuntu ayita mu mitendera egyo n'ajulira. Otherwise bwe tunaagenda bwe tutyo ojja kuwulira ng'ate bakozeeyo ekkooti y'abakinjaaji nti eno ewozesa bakinjaaji, bateekeyo ekkooti y'abaddereeva nti nabo banjawulo. Kakati omwamagye n'omupoliisi bonna bakwata mmundu. Mu kwekalakaasa omupoliisi atta omuntu, lwaki tebamutwala mu kkooti maaso kuba aba yakozesezza mmundu okuba omuntu oyo? Ate ne kino abantu kye bagamba nti wayinza okubaayo abamu be mubadde buga nti abano batujju naye nga bayosebwa kkooti ya bulijjo, ng'ate n'omutujju aba ayagala kutta na kusaanyaawo bulamu oba abalala baakikola naye nga bali eno. So ekyo abantu kye balabamu ekyekubirira kwe kubuuza nti Dr. Besigye kyennyini kye yakoze ekimusussizza ku ddaala ly'abano bo kye bakukuta nakyo nti ne fayiro emaze wiikisi 2 nga tetambula. Ekyo ekireesemu abantu okubuusabuusa embeera y'ebintu bino gye bikolebwa. Naye ebyo tusobola byajuwinga wali nga munnaffe ali bweru, naye omutuusa otya ebweru? Bail application. The bill, whether they want to present it in an amended form or not, we are clearly saying we shall not allow them, of course, reintroduce clauses within the bill that break the spirit of the ruling of the Supreme Court, because that is ultra-vires, that is illegal, and our constitution has already spoken aloud on that. Therefore, what I would like to encourage the people of UPDF is, if you have charges, the simple question is one: you cannot be the investigator, because UPDFRS, it investigates, it prosecutes, and then it passes judgment. There is no fairness. In most cases, by people that might not necessarily be qualified in doing what we call judicial roles. Yes, it is true they might have that judicial knowledge, but there is a difference between a judge in the courts of judicature and a military officer pursuing certain matters that are legal. Just like I've given you a comparison, that a tailor and a midwife both may use cutting, instruments that have cutting edges, and they also even stitch. But I cannot deploy a tailor to do the job of a midwife. That is misplacement of resources. So that is why we've had miscarriage of justice emanating from the court-martial form of court. And that's what the ruling of court was. We cannot come back here in Parliament and legislate anti-ruling of the Supreme Court. Thank you.
We cannot discuss what is before court. Let's respect the court. And the court will equally respect the executive and legislature.
Madam Speaker, I ask that you kindly hear my procedure issue. This has nothing to do with court proceedings. It has, Madam Speaker, everything that we have on the order paper can wait, but not human life. We heard Dr. Besigye's personal doctor in the prison, Madam Speaker, in the prison doctors trying to explain the condition and the urgency need. So everything that we have on the order paper, Madam Speaker, and with due respect, can wait, but not the life of Dr. Besigye and everybody else, Madam Speaker. Now, Madam Speaker, my procedure issue is just simple. We are citizens, and we are leaders by the grace of God. The reason why we're here is that, as you rightly ruled, we represent those that don't have the privilege and the opportunity to be here. Madam Speaker, we become,
What
and
is
including
what is
myself,
your procedure,
my
madam?
procedure issue, Madam Speaker, is while certainly we're barred from focusing on, discussing court proceedings, I don't think human dignity or human heart bars anybody in this house, including yourself, Madam Speaker, to appreciate the urgency. I want to call.
Before you bring your procedure matter of the Constitution, independence of judiciary, in the exercise of judicial powers, the court shall be independent and shall not be subjected to the control of direction of any person or authority. I will not sit in this seat in this house and start directing a court on what to do. We did our part. We spoke for the people. We spoke for the people outside there. Everybody knows the health of doctor. And if somebody cannot see, then that is not parliament.
Now, my procedure issue, Madam Speaker, I'm so happy that 43 prohibits anybody, including the courts, any judge on earth, underneath, or above the earth, to conduct any trial.
You're saying Article 143?
143, Madam Speaker.
That is on a qualification of appointment of judicial officers. I am the custodian. Next item.
Madam Speaker.
Motion for withdrawal. Defense Forces
Honorable
Amendment
members don't seem to be more concerned about Dr. Besigye than other people. Dr. Besigye,
are we reading the same
Please.
Constitution, Madam Speaker?
it seems yours is
Article 143,
let's first let's first have this.
Madam
Let's,
Speaker.
let's first have this, then I will give you. Atkins. Yes?
Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, I move under Rule 140 of the Rules of Procedure that a bill entitled the Uganda People's Defense Forces Amendment Bill 2024 be withdrawn.
Is it seconded? Seconded by the Leader of Government Business, by Honorable Rokia, Honorable David Bahati, Government Chief Whip, by Minister of Finance, by Vuru, by Honorable Guang, by Honorable Alex, by Government, by Doug, by Minister of Public Service, by Minister of Luero, by the whole side, by Kabanda, by by Omodi, by Margaret, Alebutong, Margaret, Ajuri, Komakech, and then Minister of, Chairman of Science and Technology, Mooma, and Chemaswet. Then Betamongi, then Achan, and Loki, and Committee of Defense Chair, and then a Seno. Sarah has also seconded. Would you want to speak why you want to withdraw?
Right Honorable Speaker, the withdrawal of the bill is primarily to enrich the bill and two, to ensure that we comply with the ruling of the Supreme Court of the Republic of Uganda. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Honorable members, you heard what was in the ruling of the Supreme Court. The issue was who heads the court martial, how are they appointed, who is a civilian, who is a military person, and are you allowed to appeal a decision that has been made by a court martial? And those are things that I think Honorable Government Chief Whip and we need to comply with what the court ruled. Don't tell me about Article 92. Don't. Honorable members, having listened to the minister's justification for withdrawal of the bill, I now put a question that Uganda People's Defense Amendment Bill 2024 be withdrawn as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, the UPDF Amendment Bill 2024 stands withdrawn, and as we await for the new bill, which is proposing that they want to bring a comprehensive bill on UPDF. Yes.
Honorable Speaker, our rules do allow withdrawal of a bill. I just want to caution government that in all that they are planning to do in the next couple of days, hopefully, it will be in tandem with the Constitution. Article 92 provides that you cannot pass a law to defeat a court ruling.
Now you're
I am hoping that government is cognizant of that. Thank you.
You're debating in anticipation.
No, I'm just cautioning them. My duty is to keep them in check. Thank you.
Those were orders to Parliament. Article 92 says Parliament shall not pass any law to alter the decision or judgment of any court as between parties. We are not taking a party. We are not siding with any party. We are not siding with any party to the decision of the judgment. So that one, that's a redundant provision. Next item. Now let me read it together with the 91. Read it together with the 91. Why don't you? Subject to the provisions of this Constitution, the power of Parliament to make laws shall be exercised through bills passed by Parliament and assented by the President. Now, whom do you want to make the laws? It is us here to make the laws, and we shall pass the laws.
Item 3 on the order paper.
Speaker,
Statements by ministers on
can
3-1.
I finish my procedural issue?
Court grading system under the new curriculum.
Let me hear Honorable Atkins. Seems is burning.
Madam Speaker, specifically Article 23(1)
Presumption of
prohibits,
innocence.
yes, Madam Speaker, prohibits any continued detention without an ongoing trial. Madam Speaker, we can read it with Article 120 about transfers. But Madam Speaker, January 31st, on Friday, 2025, it was the Supreme Court of the land. The judgment, Madam Speaker, cannot be negotiated.
Honorable Article the other day when we discussed that issue.
Madam Speaker,
I am asking, were you in the house when we discussed that issue?
Madam Speaker, I was in the house.
And if you're in the house, we cannot, yes.
Speaker, you asked my friend Atkins if he was in the house the other day. And he said yes. And I believe, and I'm sure that he was not. We can be vindicated by the electronic registration system. I am very sure that Atkins was not here when we were discussing this matter. And he's trying to reopen the debate. So I believe he's not in order.
Order, Madam Speaker.
Honor, can you have your seat? Have your seats. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, we made orders in this house, which orders have been followed and are being followed. And I'm following very keenly, very, very keenly. And the government chief whip, the lead of government business, is equally following up that issue. I don't want people to start thinking like they are more bereaved than others. No. I came out myself without any of you talking. You get it, eh? Next item.
Madam Speaker, can I have this
I
corrected?
am saying, please, next item.
Item 3 on the order paper. Statements by ministers, 3-1.
I'll throw you out of the house, Basalira. Sit. You sit. Sit.
Right Honorable Speaker and
Honorable members,
Right Honorable Speaker.
you will recall that on Wednesday, 12th February, members raised concern about the Uganda National Examination Board grading system under the new curriculum. The presiding officer directed the Minister of Education and Sports to present a statement addressing the members' concern and the concern from the public and the misinformation in the public. However, before the Minister presents the statement, I wish to clarify the following. The new UNEB grading system under the competence-based curriculum has ushered in the change in reporting, grading, and certification of learners. 2, there has been a lot of misinformation and disinformation regarding the category of results issued for UCE. The ministry will clarify on how they categorize this and the implication on the results, where somebody gets results 1, that means a person has passed. If you get result 2, what happens next? The misinformation out there is that you go back to S1, which is not correct. So, Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, the rules of this House require that you as presiding officer, you ensure that every MP is seated comfortably. Those with the specific challenges, you make provisions. Madam Speaker, there are colleagues here who have specific challenges who cannot comfortably sit on the provided seats. And you have always made some special cases here. My colleague Nambozi is just standing here. I also have challenges with mine. I have to sit in a relatively more spacious place. Here we are, seated with difficulty. Madam Speaker, are we proceeding well when some of us are actually under difficult challenges in the sitting arrangement? Madam Speaker, are we proceeding well?
Honorable Osman, ordered the clerk, the sergeant, to bring me 3 chairs and not separate chairs. Take back your chairs. Take back your chairs. I told you I want 3 chairs, one for a call, who is too long that he can't fit in those seats. 2, the second one is for Basalira, who has a back problem, and then the honorable Madam Teacher. Honorable Nambos. Yes. No, they are bringing. Yes. Yes, there's a procedure matter, then shadow.
Thank you very much, my honorable brother and Minister for Education. Madam Speaker, there's no trade-off, and there will always be a possible conflict. And Madam Speaker, the death of any nation on earth begins with that country compromising the quality of education. Mr. Minister, sir, like everybody in this chamber, education is the engine, the heartbeat of this nation. I don't know, Madam Speaker, for how long are we going to have changes in curriculum? We are our sons and daughters, and as a result, the future of this country. Madam Speaker, my procedural issue is just simple to the minister, and that was, my procedural issue, Madam Speaker, is the minister give this house and the country at large how much that you did before you arrived at this. And Madam Speaker, procedurally, the reason why I want to know from our minister how much of the knowledge produced by universities was consumed by his ministry in arriving at this particular decision, without which, Madam Speaker, the future of this country, and specifically the education.
There's a procedure matter.
Madam Speaker, the Honorable Atkins raised the issue of human rights. I thought he would raise it again because we said this can actually wait. We know this grading and Honorable Sewung is going to give us a version. But Madam Speaker, when the issue was raised, there was insinuation that this is a matter before court. We agree. But Madam Speaker, Dr. Besigye was brought to court at the intervention of this House. Not directing, but intervention. Madam Speaker, ideally, I would have expected that the executive comes and reports what is the status at the moment. Because we agreed here, there was even a meeting that I attended. The government chief whip was there, the deputy attorney general was there, and the minister for justice reported that Besigye would be brought to court. That was yesterday. Wouldn't it be procedurally right Information, yes. Yes.
Thank you. This thing is overcoming. Can you just give us information? No.
Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Asmani's prayer is that we brief the House on the status of the matter that is in court regarding the matter that the Honorable Minister of Education has presented. If given the right opportunity, Right Honorable Speaker, on Tuesday will be in position to respond.
On
Right Honorable, the question that Honorable Asmani brought was not, if I understood clearly, it was not in respect of this.
Right,
Maybe he
Speaker.
can clarify.
Right on, Speaker. In this house here, we agreed that government actually undertook through the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs that Dr. Besigye would be brought before court, the civilian court. And indeed, he was brought to court. The procedural issue, Right on, Speaker, I raised is whether we are proceeding right before or without a status report pursuant to the agreement we had here from the Attorney General. And it was at that point, Right on, Speaker, that I had ceded space to Honorable Mwijushe to provide more information. Then I conclude on that issue before the Attorney General comes, Right on, Speaker.
So can you conclude on the issue?
I had ceded for information from Mwijushe, Right on, Speaker.
Which I'm not giving.
Oh, okay. Now that you are not giving it, Right on, Speaker, which is your discretion, which we respect. Learned Attorney General, since there were commitments and undertakings made on the floor, wouldn't it be better for you to come and update this House on the status report or progress of the commitments and undertakings that we took without necessarily delving into the merits of the case?
Right Honorable Speaker, in the past few weeks, our honorable colleagues across the aisle have been pressing and demanding that Dr. Besigye be produced in court.
Civilian
court. On behalf of government, we have time and again committed to meet all the requirements as stated by the Supreme Court. Pursuant to your ruling the other day, the Honorable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs did commit once again to fulfill the requirements of the Supreme Court decision. And indeed, yesterday, the Honorable Dr. Kiza Besigye was produced before Justice Dr. Singiza. And I believe the prayer that my colleagues across the aisle had always been pressing for was that Besigye be produced before a civilian court. That was done yesterday. And for now, that's what I can report. Because the processes are still ongoing, I need not delve into what may be considered to be sub judice. Thank you.
There is no lie. If you have information, it is additional information. But what the Attorney General has said is correct, that it was produced before the court yesterday. Yeah? So what happened? What happened? Are we in management of court process?
what was done yesterday, Madam Speaker, was not what this parliament had intended. Listen to me. Speaker, Parliament had wished that Dr. Besigye be produced in civil courts to be charged or tried in civil courts. Who produces Dr. Besigye in civil courts? It is the state. The state. Dr. Besigye appeared yesterday in court on another issue, and it was on an application made by his lawyers about a different thing. As we speak now, Madam Speaker, Dr. Besigye has not been charged or arraigned before any court, as we Parliament had intended. It is a lie.
Prime Minister, let the government speak.
Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. Article 128 is very clear. Use your constitution or use your iPad. Article 128 is very clear. The independence of the courts. And so we cannot order courts to do anything.
Honorable Sewungo, Shadow Minister of Education, honorable members, if you feel court is not doing enough, court is very near. Let's walk to court and ask the judge, why are you not doing what you're supposed to do? Huh? Yes.
Madam Speaker, with your permission, I want to thank you for what you did the other day. You did great when you allowed Madam Speaker, I want to thank you and the entire country.
Maybe you have information from just a minute before you come in. There's information.
Perhaps to add to my earlier statement, it was a requirement of the court that the number of files be transferred. The files that were originally before the court martial be transferred to a civil court.
To DPP.
Yes. Right, Honorable Speaker, I wish to report to the House that the transfer has been done. Now, I humbly request that you allow the technical people look through the files and advise on the next step of action.
Order.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, my concern is that the purpose for which we met and asked the executive to bring closer the appearance of Dr. Besigye is being defeated. Because you remember you raised this issue very passionately and we had a purpose. Yesterday, when Dr. Besigye appeared, the judge said this man is too sick, he can't even sit here for 30 minutes. Let him go back to prison. Today, he could not even make it to court in another court at Uganda Road, and the magistrate had to step trial for 2 months because he cannot appear in court. Yesterday, he was able to be there for 20 minutes. Today, he could not appear. So for somebody to say, let the technocrats go and look at the files when somebody is dying in prison, I mean, how human can we be? How? So because the purpose for bringing closer, why did we have to sit and say, no, 25th is too far. Let him appear tomorrow. And that's what we did.
Madam Speaker and colleagues, I need to be protected.
Honorable members,
permit me to clarify to my honorable colleagues, Mwijucha and others. Once files are transferred to the DPP, the files have to be perused. And the DPP would make a determination whether there is a case or not. Please allow me finish.
Let him finish.
Once the DPP receives a file, the DPP is supposed to read the facts on the file. And if the DPP is convinced that the facts and evidence reveal a case, then the file will be sanctioned.
So the file is with the DPP?
So I want to tell you that the files have been transferred to the civil court and to the DPP. So I humbly request that you await the determination of the technical people.
Right on, Speaker. Right on, Speaker.
Honorable members, can we urge the lawyers of Dr. Besigye to make a follow-up on this matter with the DPP? And if some of you are lawyers to Dr. Besigye, can you kindly make a follow-up with the DPP and then to the court? That is what we should do.
The Attorney General would clarify a statement he has made here. He has said that files have been transferred and they are with technical people. Kindly elucidate. Who has transferred files to where? At what point does the DPP come in? Because you see, the DPP, according to our constitution, for those of you that don't know, the DPP is meant to operate independently. The DPP sanctions police files, not court files. So we'd want to know about that process. What exactly happened? Have you as Attorney General gone? Hold on. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Have you as Attorney General gone and ordered the DPP here sanction these files? Because that's important. It's a matter of the law and a matter of the constitution. How is the DPP coming into this situation? Or did you just say you got these files from this court and you took them to a court registrar and said, shed these ones? Please elucidate on that issue.
Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker. The Supreme Court ordered that the files be transferred
to the civilian court.
The other day, on Tuesday when we were here, the Right Honourable Speaker made an order to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, the Minister of Internal Affairs, and myself as the Deputy Attorney General to go and see to it.
Please listen.
To go and see to it that the transfer is done. We went and immediately returned here. The Minister of Justice reported to this House that the transfer processes were ongoing. And now I'm here to confirm to you that those files have been transferred. Thank you.
Honorable members, you've heard the files have been transferred. They are in DPP. We are going to make a follow-up, and I will make a follow-up also myself. Next item.
Item 3.2, statement by Minister.
Let me thank the Minister of Education for attempting to respond to this issue. But I am seeking for indulgence that if you could permit this shadow minister, our side,
to prepare to respond to the minister's statement carefully. Because, Madam Speaker, I want to first quote briefly, as you allow me.
You want to write a response. You don't need to quote. Bring a response and we debate two of them.
Madam Speaker, I just want to give justification.
No.
A brief justification.
Bring a response in written and we shall discuss both of them. Next item.
Ebintu bya Dr. Besigye ne gavumenti bituuse we biina abannayuganda we tulina ffenna okubibeeramu okutegeera. Wankati omuwolereza wa gavumenti kyayogedde kifu era kifuufululu. Bannayuganda mbasaba zino ensonga zonna tuzibeeremu kubanga gavumenti etandise okuvuluga buli kintu ekya Dr. Besigye okwongera Dr. Besigye okufiira mu kkomera. Ekisooka DPP afune fayiro okuva mu poliisi ate ayina constitution ali independent. Fayiro zaafuna zirina okuva mu poliisi, oba IGG. Kati zino ze yafunye yaziggyewo. Kye twagambye gavumenti Besigye bamureleasing. Bwe baba n'aba basobola baddemu bamukwate bamutwale ku poliisi akole statement. Bwamala kola statement poliisi ekole fayiro egitwale wa DPP. Eteeka bw'etyo bw'erigamba. Kati omuwolereza wa gavumenti atugamba fayiro zamaze okutuuka mu kooti. Zaavudde wani? Kubanga kati fayiro ezaali mu kooti maasho yafa ne fayiro zaayo. Toyinza kuddira omutima oguvudde mu muntu amaze okufa ate ogutwale mu muntu omulamu. Kubanga kati fayiro bwe ziba zaali mu kooti maasho zaafiirayo ne kooti yaazo. Balina okutandika bupya amateeka bwe gagamba. Kati bwe bayaliisa omutima mu muntu eyafa, kooti eyafa n'azitwala mu kooti civil court eriwo, ekitegeeza ne kooti eno eri civil naye yolekedde okufa. Tetuyinza kukkiriza ekyo. Gavumenti temuyinza kuvuluga ensonga za Besigye okutuuka ku ekyo. DPP eteeka liri wano, constitution tugirina gye bampa wano. Afuna fayiro okuva mu sources bbiri, ku poliisi ne IGG. Ate IGG nayo wabaayo poliisi. Kati ze batutte mu kooti baziggyewa. Besigye yabadde mu kooti eggulo nga tasobola kutuula for 30 minutes. Okumala endakiika 30 nga tasobola kutuula. Omulamuzi n'agamba bamuzeeyo eruze. Kati leero abadde alina okuba mu kooti. Omulamuzi wa kooti ku misango emirala gitali giri agambe Besigye tasobola yadde okumuleeta nga yeebase mu kooti. So if we don't, this man is dying in court. Ate ng'ensi nga tutunula nga gavumenti evuluga bino. No, tuyinza kukkiriza ekyo. N'ekyo ekisembayo bwe baba kooti ensukulumu yagamba batransferinge fayiro. Yabagamba bazitransferingireko ne Besigye. Lwaki tebamureleasinga n'agenda n'afuna obujjanjabi? Sikyayagala nabyogerako bino tunoonye ekyokukola.